Okay, let's do the multi-output thing that we covered in the lesson last week, for those that are not sure or didn't attend or whatever. Okay, so we're going to make some drums and we're going to choose this multi-output option and we'll see what that's all about. Okay, so I'll create that. Here's a nice little drum machine. I'm just going to close that for a sec whilst I do the standard drawing in of some MIDI. Okay, so you know how to do all this stuff now. I'm about to press Command U. That kind of anchors the cycle around the bit of MIDI that you've chosen. Okay, let's go 140 BPM. Let's grab our Ultrabeat back. Okay, and load up something. What is something? Something can be what? You know, minimal glitch. What the hell? So you can hear I'm just clicking each channel there. It's kind of weird. Let's see what we can do with this, okay? So I'm going to just close P, open it again, refresh the window basically here, so all the little names of what is what update themselves. Okay, and we'll do a standard, I'm going to make that shorter. We'll do a standard kind of 140 dubsteppy groove, which basically would suggest a snare on beat 3. Okay, so if I draw these in here, and put the metronome on, give you a point of reference, we have that, so that might be a bit too funky, that last 16th. Okay, let's pull it back one. That's quite cool. Yeah, so to get a little ticky hi-hat, don't really like that, but it's not about liking, it's about being a multi-output. Okay, maybe change that so it's not on the same 16th as the kick drum. Remember, we can draw around our hats, hold down Alt, grab any one of those and just stick them over here. So it's got a slightly odd groove. Maybe a little shaker there. Yeah, what happens if we put that little shaker on beats 1 and 3? Just for some fun. You know, it's all good. We can turn the click off now because that's very annoying. Oh, there's another snare up there. What happens if we put a snare? Yeah, so it's not quite a kind of awesome groove here. It's slightly wonky there on beat 4 somehow, but I'm just gonna, you know, live with it. Alright, so clap. Okay, let's keep going. So what is this multi-output all about? Okay, so I'm going to press X for the mixer. And you can see that because I chose a multi-output instance of this Ultrabeat, I have this little plus here. Okay, so if I click plus as many times as I need to, you can see that I'm kind of exploding out the possible outputs from this Ultrabeat. Outputs 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, yeah, 9 and 10, so on. So here's the fun bit. If we now look at the Ultrabeat itself, we can see what I'm using. And if you look very closely here, we've got sub 1, got this kind of little out menu. Okay. So you can see that my snare, well look, I'm going to click here and choose output 2. Okay, and that hat that I've used, I'm going to choose output 3. And that shaker, alright, output 4. There's one more thing, wasn't there? Yeah, where's that little do gone? Up here, isn't it? That one. Okay, so that's going to be... I've lost track. What are we on? 5? Yeah, 4 there, 5 there. Great. So, look. That has now spread each individual hit across these outputs. Okay, which is really important. So I can now solo, for example, that snare channel, as you can hear. Okay, so I could double click here and name it snare. Yeah, SNR. Well, look, this is the hats. Double click. Hats. Yeah, you get the idea. And what's great about this now is that we can start turning up and down the relative volumes. Okay, so in an ideal world, in awesome music production land, we want to be able to process each of these channels separately. Okay, so I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes doing that right now. So what about this snare? Well, see here, audio effects. Okay, I'm going to click here. Let's do something to the snare. What should we do to the snare? Let's use this bit crusher here. Okay, now at first glance, it's just going to seem to make the snare louder if I turn that up. Okay, way too loud. In fact, it clipped. It went into the red. Red is bad. Yeah, so I'm going to double click and turn this down by, good 12 dB. Notice it's still as loud as it was before, but it's just far more crushed. Okay, it's got a kind of different tone to it somehow. And then, let's be weird here. If I then grabbed myself an EQ, you can see all the frequencies of this snare. Okay, I can grab any one of these nodes now and pull it down and start scooping out specific frequencies. These are the parameters for this node here. Look, as I move that, these all change. Right, so I'm going to adjust this bottom Q value and make it quite specific. And you can hear perhaps a little bit how it alters the sound. If I boost those frequencies, you'll really hear a kind of slightly ugly, let's just kind of resize this a bit. Very ugly, weird kind of hollowness to it. Okay. So you hear that? And kind of scoop out certain frequencies to make the snare sound subtly different. Okay, so many things we can do with the ability to process each channel. Okay, so I'm going to do one more thing on these hats, which is again slightly unconventional, but again I just care that you can get a sense of what it's possible to do. Okay, so I am going to get myself a stereo delay on these hats. What's great about this little thing here is that we have this output mixture. How much delay do we want to add in? So listen to those hats now. The right side is set to 8th notes and the left side is set to quarter notes. Okay, turn the click on. Okay, so if you double click and just add in the tiniest bit, 10%, just hear that. It just gives the hats a little bit of a drive. Makes it sound kind of funky. And that snare is, you could use that. It's got quite a lot of bottom frequency on it. You can hear all this stuff here is a bit kind of yucky. Okay, so we could strive to scoop some of that out, like so. Yeah, you know, so can only reduce it by 24 dB. We'll talk about dB another time, but you get the idea. Again, all we are doing here is considering multi-output, yeah, and the ability to separate the channels here, so we can solo each thing and process accordingly, turn levels up and down. So yeah, a great little thing. It's great to be able to do multi-output. Okay.